Hey, what's up? It's Jim, and I just got back from the new film World War Z. It's about a very quick global zombie outbreak. Brad Pitt and his family, who are trying to go on a trip and leave Philadelphia, get caught up in it in Philadelphia, and then escape through probably one of the most thrilling sequences in the entire movie, where they drive through and get to Newark and then are picked up and taken to an aircraft carrier in the middle of the ocean, where Brad Pitt is informed because he is a former UN investigator and he needs to help them track down and find how this zombie outbreak happened. So he goes on a mission that gets more and more implausible as it goes on to find out how to cure this zombie outbreak and how it actually started. World War Z is probably the first zombie movie that comes to mind that's a $200 million plus movie. I mean, it's 234 or something. With tax rebates, apparently it's 200, but whatever. The problem with zombies being mainstream and in their current form is not a lot of people who like zombies now have any respect for the genre that came before what's happened recently. And so what you're getting are films and shows that have zombies in them, but could give a fuck less about what Romero did 30, 40 years ago. But World War Z doesn't even really attempt that. It's a PG-13, so there's not much blood in it, which is odd for a zombie film. There's certain shots that are kind of unimaginative in the way they try to conceal it. It's just like something off camera. They just have the camera not show it, basically, but they don't do it in a very creative pre-code way or something, which would actually be cool. Implied violence can be really awesome if you do it right, but they don't do that. They just don't show it or cut away. This film, I think, is more interested in being like a global disaster movie than a zombie movie. Directed by Mark Forrester, who started with Monsters Ball and somehow got to do these big giant epic movies. He's much better at doing small movies. When he did Finding Neverland and Monsters Ball, I like those movies, but Quantum of Solace on this, it's like I don't understand why he decided to do big blockbusters, because he's just frankly not very good at it. I think he's become a much better action director in this than he was in Quantum of Solace. The opening sequence where they're leaving Philadelphia and then they're in Newark, all of that is just great. And I was like, wow, I'm surprised how much I'm liking this movie. And a lot of the action sequences, they're really kind of implausible how Brad Pitt's lived through all this crap after a while. He does make it a fairly thrilling movie, and I thought he did a much better job directing this than Quantum of Solace. World War Z is definitely a step up for him, but he films it in the guise of like an intelligent movie. It's like when you talk to somebody who tells you certain like political movies are somehow intelligent because they involve politics, so therefore it's smart. And that's kind of how World War Z approaches it, but it doesn't have the intelligence to really back it up. This isn't really a well-written screenplay. The only real character other than Brad Pitt's family is Brad Pitt. Everyone else is disposable, and it feels that way, you know, because they get rid of them so quickly. There's an Israeli soldier he's friends with for a little bit, but I don't think we ever really know her name. You don't know much about her character. It's just mainly focused on Brad Pitt. Anytime they have to have character development, it feels so stale, and some of the most boring character development you can think of. Like, none of these characters have any sort of interesting personalities when they're not doing something awesome in an action sequence. It's not good at characters relating to one another, which is interesting that Mark Forrester, when he makes character films, he's really good at having these characters interact with each other. When he has action sequences, he forgets how to do that. Watch Monsters Ball and watch this, and you're like, that's the same guy? Like, it doesn't even feel like the same guy. To me, this is like a dad movie. A dad who is like, what if zombie movies were like intelligent? There's all this gore. What's with all this social satire, man? What if we like had it be about like politics and what this would politically mean? It's like if some intelligent person who knew nothing about zombie movies, which is kind of an oxymoron, some dad who likes, you know, the Bourne movies and Enemy of the State, and this is a movie for him and hasn't ever seen Dawn of the Dead. Now, this isn't my dad, because I made my dad watch Dawn of the Dead a lot of times, and not the new one, just the... And this is just in that guise of like, I don't know anything about zombie movies, man, but this was a pretty good one. I wouldn't put it in the zombie genre, the traditional zombie genre. I would say this is the post-mainstreaming of zombie genre, which is admirable that they don't even attempt it. It's taking zombies as an idea, as a construct, but not as a genre. And taking this and making kind of like a smarter disaster movie, or the guise of a smarter disaster movie, is kind of what they do with it. And as a disaster movie, I actually think it's quite good. at least during the thrills. And I hate that this movie's shot in this kind of like intelligent way, because it's like a dumb movie. Like, at least Roland Emmerich is upfront with me. This movie thinks it's really smart, but it's really kind of stupid. And it's like, cause like anytime it has to sit there and characters have to talk to one another, it just does not really work very well at all. This movie is really good at having chase sequences, and the getting away from the zombie sequences get worse as the movie goes on. I feel like the best one is at the beginning with his family, and that was very thrilling. It starts getting more and more implausible, and then he survives a plane crash. It just starts getting goofier and goofier. They don't have a theory behind really what they're doing. They just kind of have the theory that this would be smarter if it was like this, but they didn't actually think about why that would work, how it would work within the genre, the implausibility of it. Like, when I had to think about any of those sequences after I left, when I saw it, I was like, wow, that was really thrilling. And then when I was on the subway home and I thought about all those sequences, I went, oh, that was stupid. That doesn't hold up to thinking. And some of the conclusions they come to are like huge leaps. A stupid summer movie that's trying to act like it's more than that, and just really isn't. Thinking you're intelligent is different than taking an intelligent theory behind your motion picture. I think World War Z is enjoyable. It's very fun. It's actually kind of thrilling. It just can't really take the guys that it's presenting to you seriously. It almost feels like it's like invented the intelligent, smart person zombie movie. And like, I hate to break it to World War Z, but that's been going on for quite a while. And so that kind of misunderstanding of the genre is kind of why this film kind of fails. It doesn't fail because I like zombie movies or something. It fails because it thinks it's very intelligent. And if you watch any of the character moments in this film, it just frankly isn't there. It's just kind of stupid. So if you have seen World War Z and you would like to talk about it, then comment below in the comments, and subscribe if you would like to. I'm hungry for brains.